channel. I'm just a girl who likes reading romance, fantasy, romance, paranormal romance, any kind of genre of romance in general. And I also happen to have cerebral palsy, and it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel. Happy Wednesday! Today's video is going to be my September end of the month wrap up. I've read 21 books in the second half of September. In my mid-month wrap up, I read 16 books. So if you're curious to see what my reading is for the first half of September, I'll link the video down below in the description. First couple books, I'm gonna go through them really quickly because I did a recent reads video and a new to me author, Binge, Claudia Connor. I'll also link that video in the description. So if you want to know my full thoughts on these books, please click those videos. Salt in the Wound by Sierra Simone. It is a Tristan and Isolde retelling, Menage MMF, and I gave that book 4 stars. Salt Kiss, the next book in that trilogy. It's how Mark meets Tristan and how Tristan meets Isolde. Mark is Tristan's nephew-in-law because his sister married Mark's father. Isolde is Mark's fiance. I gave that book 5 stars. Off the Grid by K. Boomerang, Formula One romance, and the heroine is the daughter of the owner of a Formula One company. I gave that book 4 stars. Home Run Proposal by Marion Moore. It's a baseball romance, college romance, seduction lesson romance, best friend's older brother romance. I gave that book 4 stars. Tempt Our Fate by Kat Singleton. We follow Peppa and Camden. It's a small town romance. Opposites attract. Billionaire. The heroine is a baker. And I gave that book 5 stars. Infamous Park Avenue Prince by Ella Frank and Brooke Blaine. It's an romance, college romance following rich kids at a university. It reminds me of Cruel Intentions. I gave that book 4 stars. Worth the Fall by Claudia Connor. I gave that book 5 stars. It's a single mom romance. She's a widower with the hero is a Marine. The hero's name is Matt and the heroine's name is Abby. I gave that book 5 stars. Worth the Risk by Claudia Connor. I gave 4 stars. It's a billionaire romance. The heroine has scars. Both have tortured past. Worth It All. It's a single mom romance. The heroine has a young daughter with a prosthetic leg, and the hero of the story also has a prosthetic leg. So it's their romance, and I gave that book 4 stars also. Worth the Wait. It's a second chance romance between a psychologist and a cop. They were together in college, but they broke up for reasons, and it's their second chance romance, and I gave that book 4 stars. Waiting for You. It's a romance between a firefighter and a nurse. It is also a single mom romance. I gave that book 4 stars. Waiting on Rain. It's a disability rep romance. The heroine is blind, and the hero comes back from the Marines, the Army, and they meet at a wedding. I gave that book 4 stars. Waiting on Forever. It's a neighbor's romance. The hero and the heroine are neighbors. She's a widow. Her husband and her child died 7 years ago, and the hero just retired from the police force. It's 4 stars. A Single Candle, Bright Flame. It's the 9th book in Cole McCade's Criminal Intention series, season 1. We follow Sung Jae and Malcolm. I give that book 4 stars. And then I read book 10 of Criminal Intentions. It's called Backdraft, and I also gave that book 4 stars. If you don't know what Criminal Intentions is, it's like a procedural crime drama, except it's a book. We follow Sung Jae and Malcolm, and they are partners who also happens to be in a romantic relationship. And it's very queer-oriented. All the characters are part of the LGBTQ community, and they work together to solve these cases and plus continue their romantic relationship. Stop Me. I read this book for Smut Club, run by Cheyenne from That Tall Book Girl and McKay from Oh Hates McKay, and I gave this book 3 stars. It is an ex-boyfriend's mom romance. It's a sapphic romance, BDSM. I like the first half of the book where they try to keep their relationship hidden because her ex-boyfriend is the woman's son. But the second half of the book where the son tries to take down his mother's business, I didn't like that part. Order of the Scorpion by Ivy Asher. I read this book because of Jess from Honest Fiction. It's a wide-chewed paranormal romance. We follow the heroine who wakes up in a cage with no memory of who she is, and then a couple years later she is transferred to this academy of sorts where she is trained to be an assassin, where they have all these fights to figure out who is the best one, and she gets placed, and these assassins get placed in what's called guilds, and she gets placed with the Order of the Scorpions. Her white shoes romance with the people of the Order of the Scorpions as she tries to figure out who she is and reclaim her memories. The men in the Scorpion group try to train her to be a better assassin, and it's their Why Choose Romance. And I liked it. The audiobook was really good. A Fall of Ruin and Wrath by Jennifer L. Armentrout for Cover to Cover Book Club, and I gave this book 4 stars. We follow the heroine, and in this world, the gods control everything, and this woman is an orphan. She's been an orphan her whole life, and she just goes through life with her best friend, but she has this intuition, and her intuition gives her like feelings of whether she should trust someone or not, and that gives her the ability to see the future, and she becomes this concubine to this sort of prince but not, and one day she gets a premonition. One day she saves a guy using her premonition powers, and that guy turns out to be a prince, but her premonition is telling her not to trust the guy she saved, but she feels like she can trust him. So this book is her trying to figure out if she should trust her intuition powers about this prince or go with her heart. And Collide, it's a hockey romance. We follow Summer, whose dream is to become a sports psychologist, and she's in her undergrad program, and her professor assigned her to write her thesis paper on hockey. Now, Summer does not have a good relationship with the sport of hockey. Her dad is a famous hockey player, and she feels like her dad neglected the family, so she doesn't have a good relationship with hockey, and every time she dates a guy, it's always to get closer to her so they can get to know her dad. That's our heroine. Aiden is the captain of the hockey team at the university. He gets in trouble because the hockey team threw a college party when the hockey team was supposed to be at this event for charity. He gets in trouble with the coach, but it wasn't really Aiden's idea, it was another team member's idea, but Aiden takes the fall for him instead, and instead of suspending Aiden for the season, the coach said he has to work with Summer on her research paper about hockey. So Summer and Aiden are forced to be together, and she just wants to go to the graduate program. It's opposites attract. Aiden falls for Summer first, but Summer refuses to fall for Aiden because she has a rule that she does not date hockey players, but Aiden tries to change Summer's mind. And I gave that book 5 stars. I really liked it. It's a very good start to a new hockey romance. The Broken Vow by
Katharina Mora.
It's their second chance arranged marriage romance. No, marriage of convenience romance. We follow Dane Windsor and Celeste, and they are from rival billionaire families, because Dane's grandmother and Celeste's grandfather hate each other. Celeste leaves for college, and she comes back, and she has to go to Windsor, a party thrown by the Windsors. But what Celeste doesn't know is that secretly Zane has always had feelings for Celeste. He was always picking on her through high school and when they were younger, because he didn't know how to express his feelings. So when Celeste comes back, Dane goes to her and asks her to give him a chance to really express his feelings toward her, because he likes her. Eventually, Celeste gives in and they have a romantic relationship, but something happens that causes Celeste to break up with Dane. Her best friend, Celeste's best friend, passes away, and I'm not gonna say why she passes away, because that will spoil it, but Celeste thinks Zane cheated on her, and Zane tries to tell Celeste multiple times that he did not cheat on her, but Celeste doesn't believe him. So Celeste put Zane in jail, and she leaves, and their grandparents are tired of Zane and Celeste fighting. They want whatever it is to be over. So even though they don't like each other, they make Celeste and Zane get married, and it's their second chance romance, and I really liked it. I gave that book 5 stars. Zane Windsor is my favorite Windsor brother. It was so angsty. I just loved it. I read An Arc of Hopeless by Elsie Silver, the last book in the Chestnut Spring series. And I can't really say too much about this because it hasn't come out yet. It comes out October 13th, so I can't say too much, but it is Bo Eaton's story, and it's a fake engagement romance with Bailey, and that's all I can say about it, because I can't dive into any spoilers because it hasn't come out yet. If you want to know my full thoughts on it, please go check out my review on Goodreads. But I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. Those are all the books that I read in the second half of September. Please let me know down in the comments below if you have read any of these books. I would love to know. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. That would mean the world to me. And I'll see you Friday.